Conservatives malign and mock Alexandria Ocasio Cortez at her own peril. We need to start taking her seriously and respond strategically to the things she says and does when she takes office here next week. I'm Jimmy Sengenberger, and this is Fireside Truth. Several weeks ago, I published an article on RealClearMarkets.com entitled "Global Warming Fires Up Congress's Resident Snowflake." I was talking about Alexandria Ocasio Cortez and the fact that she led a sit-in outside the would-be speaker, likely speaker, Nancy Pelosi's office with a group of activists campaigning for a Green New Deal. In this op-ed, I mocked her for this as a snowflake, using snowflake-like tactics that you might see on a college campus. After all, who in the world would do a sit-in outside the speaker's office when you yourself could actually arrange a meeting with her because, I don't know, you're a member who actually is going to vote to make her Speaker of the House? But she didn't do that. Instead, she did a sit-in outside Pelosi's office. And I thought this was absurd and took to my avenues to say as much. But the next day I saw what was going on social media. You see, that day, Ocasio Cortez went on Instagram and she made mac and cheese on Instagram in a live stream video in an Instapot while playing music in the background and talking about issues that matter to her. And what struck me was less this idea that it was almost a cooking show hosted by a politician. But what struck me more than anything was the fact that the responses and the reaction she was getting was profound. People were saying, she's so real. She's like us. I wish more politicians were like this. Here's a snippet of some of the things that she did on social media in the post-election time period to start going about getting people along for the ride, her followers, bringing them along for the ride. This montage is from Chris Hayes on MSNBC.
All right, here we go. Congressional life, getting off to a glamorous start. See ya.
What happens when you actually check into orientation? You get a swag bag. Look at that. Isn't that so cute? So I jokingly call it a swag bag, but what we actually need as elected officials is very high security data devices. So that's what's inside this bag, a new tablet and a new phone. Guys, there are secret underground tunnels between all of these government buildings. There's no special sauce to it. You just gotta be good at getting things done.
Now, you might be asking yourself, watching this clip, why in the world would an elected member of Congress about to be sworn in actually go onto social media and share a video of herself cooking macaroni and cheese in her kitchen? Why would an incoming member of Congress put out a video live streaming herself walking through the halls of Congress or washing her clothes? Well, it's because she wants to make her followers feel like they are along for the ride. That she really is one of them, with the issues in her daily life being just the same as what they're experiencing. She's of them. She's not apart from them or above them. Now, we can go ahead as conservatives and nitpick every little thing. We can say she doesn't know what the three branches of government are. We can say she doesn't understand this topic or that topic. And that's not necessarily saying something that's false. There's a lot that she doesn't seem to understand. But if you're going to keep pointing that out, if you're going to be nitpicking every little thing, if you're going to be mocking her for being someone who knows nothing, whether it's on Fox News or in a YouTube video or in an op-ed or in a talk radio spot, you may be throwing red meat to the base, but you're not actually finding yourself in a position to win friends and influence people. You're not in a position to expand conservative support among millennials, who are now the largest voting bloc in the country. I'm not saying to pander to this younger generation. I'm not saying to be worried about every little thing that you're going to say because you don't want to offend the snowflakes and make them melt. But I'm just saying that you want to be strategic. If you're using a verbal jab, you're going to take a verbal jab, or you're going to throw in a little joke here or there. That's okay. I'm not saying not to do that. But you don't want to consistently have conservatives that whenever we're talking about AOC, it's just a nitpicking little thing that feels like you're personally attacking me. If you're a young liberal millennial, left-wing millennial, you're attacking me when you're attacking her. You want to be smart and strategic in how you do it. Conservatives have a bold vision. We want to unleash the unlimited potential of each and every individual. That's what our policies are about. We recognize that you don't need the government to institute some godforsaken Green New Deal, because individual initiative and the market will actually do it. If you look at 2017, carbon dioxide emissions went down in the United States. The same year President Trump pulled out of the Paris Climate Accord. The United States led the world in reducing carbon dioxide emissions. You don't need the government to engage in a top-down policy to dictate how we're going to combat climate change. You don't need the government to get in there and forgive student loan debt or provide free college, because we can find other solutions, better solutions. So conservatives, our challenge is to paint a picture, to clearly lay out our own vision for how the lives of Americans, average everyday Americans, millennials and otherwise, black, white, rich, poor, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, whatever, how we will be able to better their lives by having less government involvement and solve these challenges without having to worry about Uncle Sam doing the dirty work. We can paint that picture. We can succeed in putting forward this vision and winning hearts and minds. But we're not going to be able to be very successful at that if every time a liberal millennial sees us maligning and mocking one of their own and personally identifies with that person. That's not going to be the effective way to win. The millennial generation, being the largest generation, really is influential in the long term of the country, even in the short term. Increasingly so. And if you think about it, we're really competitive in actuality. We're looking for choice. Think about apps and all the different things that you can choose on apps. I mean, naturally, there's got to be a conservative inclination within millennials who want things now. They want it done well. They want it done right. They want to look good doing it. You put all those things together and it's a natural recipe for conservative inroads to be made for success, but not if you're going to be maligning and mocking one of the people that they identify with. Folks, nitpicking and mocking a young moron to death and making it deeply personal every time we talk about her is not a winning strategy. It's not a way to be effective in politics. We need to fight, but we need to fight smart. I'm Jimmy Sengenberger, and those are some thoughts.